is on my
So if we can have your attention just for a few minutes, everybody that's here, we'd like to thank you all for coming, especially you. And your mom. And we would just like to introduce you to a few people who know Sylvia and Russell way back when. So the best friend and best man, I believe, at your wedding, right? Joe Moody, good friends. So we'd like to introduce them. They're going to say a couple of words about how Sylvia and Russell met, and then Reverend Wheeler, who married them, is going to just give a couple of words. So I'm going to turn it right over to Mr. Moody here. Okay? Thank you.
Just tell the good things.
Well, Sylvia and I both went to Gorham State Teachers College in Gorham, Maine. But we used to eat in a dining room similar to this at family style, and we were asked to sit, if our table had 3 or 4 at it, we were asked to join in another table. So one day we had only a few people at our table, so went to join in, and it happened to be that Sylvia was there. And as we talked, we realized that we were both going to work at the same place that summer in Harpswell at Lookout Point Inn. Lookout Point House, excuse me, they changed the name. And so we got to be good friends, and ended up going down to Harpswell and having a great time, and it was quiet down there and everything. And so then he and I started dating, and then I thought it would be a good idea if they dated, but I finally just gave up. I said, this is not going to work. I'm just through playing matchmaker. Done, done, done. So now you can tell.
Well, Russell and I have been friends for quite a long time. We first got together, or however you want to say it, met or whatever, at school, and also at the church that we went to, and it took him a long time to come over from a different church, but finally we got him to come over. And we used to have a boys club, Christian Service Brigade. I don't know whether you've ever heard of that or not. It's a Christian boys club like Scouts, only it's very Christian in slant. And so he'd come over and we'd go to brigade together. It was at my grandmother's boarding house, perhaps, well, yeah, Lookout Point House, where Betsy and I met over a plate of steamed clams, and we were eating, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, Betsy, pass the clams. Joe, this is Betsy," and pass the clams, and so forth. And so we finally met each other, and were introduced in that way, and then got to know each other better, and began to date. So, and then of course, as Betsy told you, she tried to get Sylvia to date Russell, and I never saw such a slow guy,
He's okay.
Now you know why I gave up. I just gave up.
Would you like to add anything to that, Dad? What happened?
Giving a preacher an invitation to speak is dangerous.
He's pleading the fifth, I think.
Well, there's an interesting part of that. I don't know if even Joe knows, but
He stood up.
when I get to the 5th grade, I was supposed to go to Hawthorne School. And the bus driver was Moses White, and I was the only one on his bus to go to that school. Well, the bus driver rules. That's who runs the schools. So he said, I'm going to go with you and have you transferred, because I don't want to stop here for one kid. So I was transferred to Longfellow School. If that hadn't happened, I might never have met Joe, because we really got to know each other a little bit in elementary school. You may also not remember we were patrol boys together, and when we went to Boston to see the Red Sox and various things. So, but our friendship got closer when we got into junior high and high school. Some people are just comfortable; they just think alike, and and frankly move at the same speed.
He
Neither
passed the clams and got married.
Joe and I don't
Answer
hurry,
the
so
question. Answer the
we're
question.
together. But it's been a journey.
That's our daughter.
The short version is that first Joe introduced me to Jesus, because seriously, I went to church, but and the first thing wasn't his sermon; it was his character that led me to believe that whatever he said was probably important. And then he and Betsy and whatever you see on television about matchmakers, forget it. Betsy's got it. Nobody can do it, and nobody has the endurance to hang in there. But they had introduced me to Sylvia, and the rest is history. And thank you all for coming. And it's amazing to see so many people that don't know each other, all here in the same room because of different parts that you've had in our lives. So thank you for coming. And thank you, kids, for making this happen.
And so now we'd like to turn it over to Reverend Wheeler, since he's going to talk about 50 years ago when he married you.
Yes, the first time I ever saw this young man was at the Christian Service Brigade. Every church I was in, I think, I started a Christian Service Brigade. A wonderful time and lively guys. So all of a sudden he shows up. He came from another church. But he decided that he'd come over to the brigade, even if it was a different church. And we had a very, very good beginning. And Russell came to accept the Lord as a Savior while he was at that church. And we had a lot of good times together. And I got to know and respect him a very great deal. I remember he came into my study one time when I was working, and he sat there while we chat a little bit. He said, "How can you do that?" I said, "What?" He said, "You can answer the telephone, and you're working on some notes here of some kind, and you're doing about 3 things at once. How can you do that?" Well, he found out after he had a ministry, I'm sure. But known Russ a long time. And we had some good times at Brigade. I followed him along. He became pastor of the church. It was my first church. And so we've kept tabs all along the way. And we were delighted when he decided that this young lady here should be captured. And so we were married and very happy. And be part of that. And it's just great. We've known them over the years. And he has made a good husband, and she has made a good wife. And they've been in ministry and done very well. And we're happy to be a part of their life.
Thank you so much. Now you get to cut your cake. There's a knife and a plate for you to do a ceremonial slice.
I don't know, it's too pretty to cut.
They always are.
You want one too? No, we do that.
I'm going to cut it together.
Hold the knife together.
You have to do it this way.
Hey, Dad.
Can you see him?
That's what you call teamwork.
Oh, we've done a lot of teamwork.
We've cut a lot of cake.
Did you get it?
I think we're supposed to do this too, right?
It's safer.
We have 2 to it.
Cut the others bigger.
Well, we don't cut the others, we just cut them.
Oh, just that one.
So we're supposed to share, right?
Yep.
We have to have a smaller piece to do that.
Turn around.
Oh, you're gonna feed me that? Hurry up.
Do we have a fork?
Falling apart here.
Wait, do we have a fork?
No.
No.
Okay, here's the way the picture happens, right?
Got it.
You ready for this?
No, you're moving.
Good job.
You're supposed to do the same, right?
Supposed to do the same?
Now be good.
Be good.
Don't miss.
You gotta take it.
That's alright.
I don't know where my grandson is. This is a Doyle cake, mostly frosted.
Excellent. Very nice, very nice. Where is George? He's over there.
Yes, we take this one.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's be done.
Dad.
Okay.
Dad.
Bill.
All right, so